Not making it super long, my backstory with Linkin Park was they've always been a band that I knew about, that I enjoyed, and then when we back in, I think it was over 2 years ago now, actually, August of 2022, we did a 2 hour and 20 minute career discography breakdown of Linkin Park, where we went through all of their albums from I think Hybrid Theory up until at the time it was One More Light after Chester Binghamton sadly passed away. So we did a whole show about their whole career and the whole catalog. If you're interested in that, check that out too. It's on our YouTube channel. It's also on our podcast feed too for Linkin Park's From Zero. For the rest of their catalog that we talked about before. Forgive me, sorry. But this is their most recent release with a brand new lead singer. I forget her name. Emily Armstrong, I believe is her name. If I'm not mistaken, right, Kyle? I
Yep.
think. Okay, yeah, Emily Armstrong.
Billy Armstrong's like
It's
sister
it's
or
Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day's sister. I'm just kidding.
okay, I was trying to clear that up.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no,
No,
no,
stop.
no, no. We're just kidding. No, but in all seriousness, though, so if you want to get our initial impressions and our feedback on what we when we talked about for a long time that day, our Linkin Park career discography breakdown, check that out too on our podcast feed and our YouTube channel as well. But tonight we're discussing their most recent release, their first release since 2017, which is a long, many years ago now. So, because 2024 already, it's hard to closing out on 2024 already, guys. It's crazy. So, if you go back and listen, that's my thoughts are back there. But this album kind of took me by surprise, gentlemen. I was quite intrigued by how much I enjoyed it for what it was worth. This is an album. When they first announced it, they had a new lead singer. I was like, all right, because I don't think Linkin Park's gonna call it quit. But at the time, it was 2022, and they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Are we gonna reform? Are we going to find a new singer? And at the time, we didn't know. But then they came back with a couple lead singles, and then they fully announced that they have a new lead singer with Emily Armstrong as their lead vocalist. And my God, did she deliver? I was very surprised about how strong of a vocalist she is. I know I'm not one to highlight female vocalists in general because majority of rock music is dominated by men. But in a rare exception case with most albums, this being one of them, the vocals on her for her performance really worked for me at least. As a hard new metal, electronic metal vibe for a new era of Linkin Park moving forward. So let's go into the track listing, shall we, for me? There's no title tracks. Good job, Kyle. Except for the little introduction that's 22 seconds long called From Zero.
And
Um,
that's your favorite, right?
it's actually not my favorite, believe it or not. You think that the 22 seconds of From Zero are my personal favorite? No, I'm just kidding. No, but in all seriousness, no. The album starts off with a little introduction, cool segment, kind of getting our feel of what we're a little 22-second setup of what we're about to feel over a new Linkin Park era, if you will, I guess you could say. The Emptiness Machine, the first track that I heard, and the moment I heard the first 10 seconds of it, I said, we're back. I was very impressed with this track. I'm actually sitting about an 8.5 out of 10 for this track, The Emptiness Machine. I really did enjoy this one quite a bit. I could see why it was one of the two singles that got released. I do enjoy, and when the moment I heard Emily's vocals, I was like, okay, I guess they actually made this work now. This actually works out in this new era of Linkin Park, and it actually worked out very well in their favor, I guess you could say, which is couldn't be any happier for that. 8.5 out of 10 for that one. Cut the Bridge. Um, before I move any further, I just want to say that I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I enjoyed a lot of the instrumentation on every single one of these tracks. So I don't want to go track by track and say, oh, well, this track, no. I enjoyed all the instrumentation from this album a lot on this record, actually, truthfully. But yeah, so Cut the Bridge. I like the instrumentation on it. It's a little bit, it's less than 8.5. I'm sitting at a 7.5 for me on this one, but it's still good track done nonetheless. I like it overall. Heavy is the Crown. I could see why this was the other single that got released. When they know how to pick singles for this band, and I really did enjoy this one quite a bit. Um, this Heavy is the Crown is another 8 out of 10, not 8.5, but it's definitely 8 out of 10 for me personally. Over Each Other, I'm sitting about a 7. Could go down, could go up to 7.5 if I'm feeling good. I do like this one quite a bit though. As the third single that got released, which you see is very front loaded so far, but so far we're doing it flows throughout this record. It kind of flowed more progressively as time went on as I listened to it more and more. Casualty, I this is a 7 out of 10 for me. It's not this is not what the album takes a dip, but it just takes a little bit of a slight downward slope. That's not a bad thing because overall it's overall a strong record in my opinion. But Casualty, I'm sitting about a 7 out of 10 for this one. Overflow, I'm sitting about a 7.5, going up a little bit there. With a Two Face, this one is fantastic. This actually, I bumped this one up to an 8 actually out of 10 for this one. I really like this one a lot. Stained, um, excuse me. I do enjoy I was enjoying I enjoy her vocals, but I enjoy her vocals on every single track. Stained, I like this one a lot again. So about a 7.5, could go up to an 8 if need be. Um, IGYEIH, which I forget exactly what it stood for. Forgive me. But this one was when I first heard it, I was like, all right, what's going on here? But then I heard it, I was like, oh my God, they abbreviated it. I like it when songs they don't just give away it's the title of a song is just an abbreviation of something. I do like that sometimes. Not when they spell love like LUV. That's terrible. Take note, everyone. Don't do that. Don't write love as LUV. It's cheesy. It's corny. Don't do it. This abbreviation that works for me for this song. I do like it a lot. Sitting about a 7.5 for this one too. And good things go. The album ends. I didn't realize how short it was at first. I thought it would be like an hour long, whatever it was. But no, it's a 31-minute record. And this one actually is really, really, really strong. I like it when it ends on a very torn, emotional note with the lyrics on this one too. Very well surprised in this track. This not quite a 9, but an 8.5 out of 10 for me if good things go. So, and I did not listen to the expanded deluxe edition over the tracks that got released here because there's not much to but there's I gave you everything I had. Sorry. I gave you everything I had. That's what it was. I couldn't think of whatever for whatever reason. Forgive me. No, but needless to say though, I believe that so overall you're listening to a guy who has no who I didn't listen to Linkin Park at all this year until this album came out. And the very fact that this record was the most streamed and well charted rock album of 2024 to on the charts as well, outside of like maybe Green Day Saviors and a couple other records. This one was surprisingly charted number 2 on the Billboard 200, and it was the most streamed rock album of the year, which to me shows that the fans are there. Linkin Park is back, and I'm sitting at a solid. I was going to go 7.5, truthfully, gentlemen, but I'm thinking more like an 8.25 or an 8.5 out of 10 for this record. And that's coming from a guy who doesn't even like Linkin Park that much outside of like the hit singles from the past. This is a strong reintroduction to a fantastic band. I actually got excited about a lot of the material on this record. And if the tickets would hold up, I would go see him with Kyle personally. That's just me. But no, 8.5, screw 8.25. We're 8.5 out of 10 for Linkin Park's From Zero. Overall, I think they found their new lead singer. I think she's going to do a great job. And I really do think that she has potential to lead this band back to the forefront of electronic rock or new metal rock in general. And I think this is a big step forward, truthfully. So overall, an 8.5 out of 10. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't exactly enjoy this type of music on a given basis. I would actually go back and listen to this more and more and more as a solid record overall. I'm surprised that this is. I wish this came out sooner. I really wish this came out in like July. It would have been a huge hit otherwise. So for the summertime. But yeah, bottom line, 8.5 out of 10 for me.